Hello, and thank you so much for having me here. I'm really excited. I wish I could be there in person, but unfortunately, I can't make it today. So, I like to start by saying I am super excited for you that you're here today. I'm trusting that at the end of today, you would have made very intentional decisions and that your life would be impacted, your career, your decision to be a coach, to be a mentor, to be a support to this vision would be, strengthened and energized. So I'm just going to get right into it because I can't remember how much time I have, but I'll be talking to us on unlocking potentials, the power of mentorship in development and growth, right? And just so you know who is talking, this is Joyce Gumina. I'm an education technology consultant. I'm a trainer. I'm a certified leadership coach and mentor. I'm also the director of operations and programs at Philip Academy. Okay, so I've been teaching for in the classroom actively. I've taught for about 13 years and I've been consulting for some years now and training teachers, supporting schools. I do whole school evaluation. I do teacher appraisal, teacher evaluation appraisal, and anything to support education, teaching, learning. That's my passion. So that's me. I'm married with three children. And today, before we go into it, I want us to do a very quick activity. I believe you all have a pen, you have a notepad. Just take your notepad, take your pen, and just do this, answer these quick questions. Okay, there are four questions. Okay, this is one, two, three, three, but the last one is the fourth question. Okay, so on your notepads, can you write who your mentor is presently, right now as we talk? Who is your mentor? That's if you know who a mentor is, and we'll get into that very soon. I want you to write it down so that by the time we're done talking, if that person still qualifies as your mentor, fine, congratulations. And then if not, I'm hoping that at the end of today, at the end of this session, you'll be able to see the reason why it's important that you first have a mentor, understand the place of mentorship before you can then become a mentor to someone else. Okay. So, who is your mentor right now as we talk, this present time? In case you have more than one, um, which I wouldn't really advise. I'll give you, I hope I get to share the reason. You can have as many counselors as you want. So there's a difference between a mentor, a coach, and a counselor. Most times people mix them all up. So you can have as many counselors as you want. In the multitude of counsel, there is safety. So it's fine to have as many counselors as you want or as you desire, depending on situations and needs and all of that. But for mentorship per time, our advice you have one mentor per time or per issue or per need. Okay, so you could have one career mentor and then you could have a personal mentor, a spiritual mentor, but per time or per need, you should have one mentor. It's really important that your eye is single. Okay, so you can have two, you can serve two lords in quote. Okay, so if you're done writing that, can we have the next answer to the next question, which is why is this person your mentor? This person you have written down as your mentor. Why is this person your mentor? Okay. Um, I'm giving you a minute, maybe 30 seconds. Just write why this person is your mentor. What's the purpose, or why is this person your mentor? What exactly is this person serving in your life right now as a mentor? And then can you let me know who you mentor? Can you write who you mentor? Um, if you have more than one mentees, that's fine. Please write them down. But who exactly are you mentoring now? at this moment? And then why? What are you doing in that person's life? What's your assignment? What's your role? Okay, so just put that aside, and then probably you get a chance to go back to it towards the end of this session. And let me just go straight into why we're here. So we're going to look at the definition. We're going to agree together who is a mentor, or what is a mentor-mentee relationship, right? And then we're also going to look at the importance. It's important you understand why this kind of relationship is important, the role it plays, the challenges that are therein. There are challenges to mentorship relationship, as with every relationship, right? Every relationship has its own challenge. You have parent child relationship, and there are challenges that comes with that. Denying the challenge is saying you're not ready to work on that relationship. There's husband wife, there's teacher students, pastor congregation. So every relationship, there's government and the people. They all have their own challenges, right? So you just need to understand, we also need to understand the challenges of mentorship relationship, right? So what's mentorship? So this is a relationship between an experienced person, and the experienced person, well, is usually the mentor, right? That's the person that is the mentor, that is giving mentorship, right? So a relationship between an experienced individual who is known as a mentor and a mentee, someone who needs guidance, someone who needs support. So there's someone who is experienced, the mentor, and someone who needs guidance and support, which is the mentee, right? So in their mostly it's in their personal or professional life. So the person is not just looking for financial support or looking for medical support. So you don't go saying my doctor is my mentor because I need medical support. Okay, so your doctor is your physician, not your mentor, and not your coach, but your physician. That person is there to give you medical support. So in the case of mentorship, we're looking at someone who needs either personal or professional support or guidance. So teachers give professional support to students, because whatever you're doing as a student, you're actually doing it towards your career, towards your professional life, and also your personal life. So teachers can be mentors to the students who are mentees. Okay, but this is not something that just happens because you're my teacher, then automatically you're my mentor. I'm just saying a teacher can be a mentor to a student if that relationship is established. And it should be the case. Every teacher actually should see themselves every should see themselves as a mentor to the students, because you're actually there to guide and support them towards their personal development and towards their professional development. Because eventually, when they leave you, what you have impacted in their life, what you have, the guidance you've given to them, the support you've given to them, is what eventually they take with them on their journey, on their personal journeys and their professional journeys, right? So, mentorship relationship provides a safe and supportive environment for the mentees to ask questions, to gain wisdom, to ask questions, to gain wisdom, and to receive guidance, and to get feedback, and to unlock all the different potentials that they have inside of them. So that is like the primary goal of mentorship. When you're giving mentorship, the primary goal, the main goal, is to help your mentee unlock the potential that is inside of them. A lot of people can do so much and know so much, but don't know they really know that much and can do that much. When they come in contact with an experienced person, what that person does is to guide them to discover themselves and to discover how much they can do and how much they know. Not by doing it for them and not by living their lives for them, but by guiding and supporting them. When they ask questions, you answer, you ask them questions so they think deeper. You probe, you inquire, you give them reasons to question their decision, to question their choices, to think about what they're thinking of. So a mentor gives that environment where you can say a flower can bloom. Okay, so you're like that sun shine, or that sunlight that flower needs to bloom. So in itself, the sunlight is not the one, it's not actually the plant, or it's not giving the plant life per se. Okay, the life is in the seed. So that seed is a potential. But once it is exposed to the sun and it has enough moisture and it has all that it needs, then it blooms. So you are that environment that allows that seed, that mentee, to receive enough sunlight, to receive enough water, to receive enough moisture or nutrients to bloom. So you are responsible for guiding them through questioning, interaction, building relationship, being intentional. You then can help them get to that point where they achieve their goals. So it's about the goal of the mentee, not about your own goal as a mentor. So you don't say, as a mentor, I want to make sure somebody becomes a footballer or becomes a musician. And then when the person comes to you, you start trying to make the person become that goal that you have set, that you want to achieve for yourself, that you want to have it in record, that you made someone an artist. So when the person comes, say, sing for me, let me hear. And the person says, oh, you have a good voice, I'm going to make you an artist. So it's not about that. It's the primary aim is to create an environment, enabling environment for that mentee to then become, achieve their goals and become what. So how important is this relationship in personal development? How does mentorship unlock potentials? Okay, so when I wanted to go into coaching, when I wanted to become a certified coach, because I had worked with teachers, I had trained teachers, I had worked with schools, I had consulted for schools, I've done whole school evaluations, I've done our teacher appraisers, I've recruited for schools, I've trained, I've been doing that, and I felt like I needed a professional. Everything I did was more from a point of my experience and my work with people, good leaders, people who poured themselves in me. But now I needed to make it formal. I wanted to be certified. I didn't just go sitting down by myself and doing all the certification. I went through mentorship. I went through a program. I had a mentor. I reported to the mentor. I learned from the mentor. The mentor allowed me to see where I can, um, where I need to expand, where I need to, um, just take it a step at a time, where I needed to read more, where I needed to, practice more. I had assignments given to me and all those different things. So eventually, I passed through the program and I was done and I did my assessment and I got certified. So for everything that you want to do in life, if you have someone who has gone ahead of you, who has the experience to guide you, to support you, you do it faster. So there's something we're trying to do in my organization. We can take the longer route and just sit down as a team and do all that we can to understand it, which might take us a lot of time. However, I found someone and that person is doing this thing seamlessly. Obviously, this person has done it for years and has mastered it, and we're just trying to do it now. So I had to ask myself, do we still go ahead and do the normal one we wanted to, where you would say, okay, you research on this, you research on this, let's have meeting next week and let's decide how we will now practice it. And then, or do we get this person, even if this person would charge us, and ask this person to take us on an in-house program, even if it is for a whole day, just helping us understand this? Which do you think will be faster? Of course, this person will show us the shortcuts. This person has done it. We'll do hands-on. We'll get it immediately. And something that would have taken maybe about 2-3 weeks to get as a team, we can actually get it within a session. Because of course, we're people who already have little knowledge and experience, but we just know that this aspect is something we just want to start doing. and we don't really have all that we understand about it. So mentorship is really important. It saves you a lot of time. Mentorship saves you a lot of time. It saves you resources. It makes things easier. It makes things quicker. So that is your role as a support, as a support to the boy child or even to the girl child. That is your role. You are supposed to make things easier. They don't need to, they are supposed to glean from your experience. Of course, every experience is unique. You're not going to be duplicating your experience, but you're going to use your experience to guide them to a point where they can then make decisions that are profitable, that will allow them achieve their goals. So it is really, really important. Having a mentor can provide a lot of benefits, and part of which is accelerated personal and professional growth. I have met with people, and because of their mentorship, they've connected me with other people. They've recommended people that have worked with them to work with me, and have what's the word? I've improved on the quality of my net worth, of my people worth, because of people that I have allowed to mentor me. They've said, oh, you know what? I'll give this person a call. Go meet this person concerning this matter. And then, so that's one of the things mentors do. They accelerate your personal and professional growth, because people that I wouldn't have really related with, because of where I am, my background, and where the stage I was at in my career, because of mentors that I have worked with, I had gotten all those connections, right? And um, somehow, when you have a mentor, your confidence is boosted, because a mentor is someone who believes in you, who believes in your potential. You don't see a seed that is already dead, and then you say, you know what, this seed is dead, but I believe it can grow. There's always something about the seed that the mentor believes in, that it takes and says, you know what, I'm going to nurture this seed. I'm going to support this seed to grow. So mentors, they have a way of boosting second. So if you, that mentor that you wrote on a piece of paper that you mentor, do you boost their confidence or do you kill their confidence? What do you do when they make mistakes? Do you laugh at them? Do you make them feel bad? Or do you tell them, you know what, I've made mistakes too, right? We're all learning. So don't worry. Do it again. What do you do with that mentor, that one you wrote down? Do you help in accelerating their personal and professional growth? Because that's one of the benefits of you being their mentor. Do you increase their confidence? Do you expand their network? Okay, like I said, their network and connections. I have my present um, boss right now, who is like a mentor to myself and the team. There are connections that we have enjoyed because of his mentorship. Because of his mentorship, I got to work with people like Education USA. I got to work with people like ChallengeWorks. ChallengeWorks, I didn't even know ChallengeWorks before now. Okay, there are organizations that we have worked with because of his mentorship, because of his pushing us and guiding us and telling us, you know what, we can do this, you can do this, right? So there's something about your role as a mentor. It's how it might not be the person in physically, but what books have you introduced them to so that they increase their network of people that they have communicated with or connected with? You can connect with people even through their books, not just via direct connections. Okay, so it can be direct connection and even indirect connection, because you were able to say, you know what, I bought this book for you. That's what we talked about last week. I believe this book can help you. Read it and let's review it together, and then share with me what you learned. Share with me the decisions you've taken because you read this book, not just to give it to them and say, okay, go and read it too. So access to valuable advice and expertise, that is another benefit of having mentors. I've had to mentor and even coach people that are even older than me. And because of my experience with technology, and how much technology has helped me and how I've learned, of course, there's still a lot I'm learning. I have mentors in the technology field that are younger than me and are teaching me a lot as well. I've had to save them time. I've had to give them valuable um, advice and give them my expertise because I had a privilege to mentor them. And the same thing with I've had people mentor me, and have been able to receive that help. So a mentor can also serve as a source of inspiration. Are you inspiring and motivating your mentee to overcome challenges that will allow them reach their full potential? Or are you the first to say, what? Was that the result you got? So you were there playing, right? You were playing. Hmm. Yeah, you don't know. You've not seen anything. I'm sorry for you. What kind of benefits is that mentee that you wrote down getting from you? And are you getting from your own mentor, right? So finding the right mentor is important. It's not just about having mentors, but having the right mentor. Like I said, it should be a mentor per need. Okay, if there's a professional need, there was a time I needed to make some applications, and I needed someone at that time who had been through the process and who would be able to guide me correctly. And I found a mentor, and she worked with me throughout the application because it was important for me that I get the application right. Okay, so that's a mentor for a particular need. And presently, she's still working with me because this another stage of the process is ongoing, and she's working with me on that. Right. So your mentor needs to be right for the need, for the purpose. And that's why I asked you, who is your present mentor and why? Because if you are trying to become a hairdresser and then you take a mentor that is a coffee maker to mentor you on hairdressing, you have the need, and you are right to find a mentor, but that mentor you found wasn't the right one. So when you're looking for a mentor, you need to consider the experience and the expertise in your desired field or area of growth. Where do you want to grow? Where do you want to grow? Where is there a need, a gap right now in your personal or in your professional development? So that person you're considering, does that person have the experience and the expertise for that desired area of growth? Now look for someone who is supportive, who is trustworthy. You can't just go to anyone. The person needs to be supportive and trustworthy. There should be a proven record of that person's work that can tell you, oh, there's no how. You would know now. You would know when you see someone who had, of course, people know no one after the flesh, right? People are not always what they seem, but there are different ways to check and and confirm that this person is trustworthy and has strong communication skills. You don't want to. That's why they say if can two work together if they don't agree. No, they can't. You can't work with someone if you do not communicate well with the person because mentorship relationship do, has a lot to do with communication, taking instructions, giving instruction, asking questions, listening, understanding the question, responding to the question, probing, um, and then eliciting and all of those things. So it's really important that it's someone who has very strong communication skills. I'm not saying someone who speaks phone. And I'm not saying someone who speaks English very well. I've seen people whose English language or the language skills might not be that great, but their communication skills is great. Okay, so what am I saying? So if I say um, no, there's a way you can say something. The grammar, okay, the grammar might not be very correct, but your expression is right and you're able to connect with what the person is saying. Of course, I'm not saying you should go and look for someone who speaks poor English language or who communicates poor grammar. But I'm saying when I'm talking of communication skills, I'm talking of someone who has good listening skills. Not that when you say A, the person is always saying Z. Or when you say A, the person is always saying D and you're like, no, that's not what I said. So, okay, what did you say now? But that's what I heard. Someone who is patient enough to understand what you're saying and ask questions to understand even better. Okay, what do you mean by you're confused? Not that you just say you are confused. I know now, when I keep seeing you with all those boys walking around, I know, how would you be confused? You are too accessible. Everybody, but you don't know what I want to say. It's not like not someone like when you say, oh, I missed my period, and the person will go and tell everyone you're pregnant. Meanwhile, you're saying you missed your English period lesson or your English lesson period. Someone who is patient enough to understand what you're saying and ask questions to understand it better, and then re-say it to you to be sure that that is what you're saying. And it's the way someone who that communicates well with you we say what you're saying even better than what you were trying to tell the person. You're like, yes, that's what I was trying to say. You even said it better, but exactly. So we're talking of that kind of person. Find someone who understands you, who has very good communication skills. A good mentor should be able to provide you with guidance, challenge your thinking in a positive way, and help you set and achieve your goals. So if you have a mentor or trying to work with a mentor and you come across someone who, when you every time you bring an issue, the person is like, ha, hey, wahala. What do we do now? Mogbe, yeah, Omo, we're in trouble. Every time the person is on, and then the person will now start telling you all their own problems too, and saying, letting you see that the person is even more confused than you. Of course, you know from there that the person doesn't have the qualities that you need. The person is not prepared to help you as a mentor, doesn't have, like I said, you need to consider the experience and the expertise, that it is in the desired field or area of growth, right? So there are different ways to change. So don't be in a hurry, don't be in a haste to find a mentor, and don't be in a hurry to be a mentor if you haven't checked that you have the expertise that the person needs or the experience the person needs. So it's really important that your mentee, that you have the expertise. They might really want you, but you should be able to tell when you've heard their problem that you need to refer them to someone else, and just pray for them and wish them well, and not force yourself to be trying to. You can't give what you do not have, but it's important that you build yourself too, so you're able to accommodate the children that you work with. So there are different types of mentorship relationship. There's a formal one. Most times, most formal ones are even paid mentorship, where you have a deal, you sign, you say, okay, I'm working with you to achieve this goal in 3 months, in 4 months, and this is my charge, this is what you're paying. That is formal. And not every formal mentorship is paid, but most of them are paid. And then there is the informal one, mostly what we see in church, between church teachers and the teenagers, between pastors and their and their followers. When you see in organizations, you have some informal um, mentorship and coaching mentorship experiences in organizations between leaders and their followers and their team members, and also even between friends. Friends can make informal arrangement. I have someone who I respect a lot, who is older than me and has worked with me as a leader, telling me recently that I would like you to be formally, I want us to agree, because I want you to be my reflection coach. I want to be able to have reflection sessions with you where I reflect on what I have planned to do, and I'm able to see where I've gone wrong. And then you just give me that guidance during my reflection process. It's just more like overseeing how I am reflecting. Remember, part of what you're doing is challenging the thought process of your mentee. Okay, so mentorship relationship, like I said, can be formal, can be informal, and it involves the structural program with defined goals and expectations. That's for formal. It's structured, and there's a program, there's a defined goal, there's a defined expectation. From most times there's a defined period. So it's not like forever. We're just going to be mentors all our lives. We're mentoring you, mentor your children, your grandchildren. Okay, so there's always all of that definition. Both of them, of course, typically should have a goal, have goals, but one is much more structured and the other is more flexible, and all of that. And the difference is the approach. So I think I should move a bit faster. So when you're establishing effective mentorship, now when I asked you to write your mentor, what's the goal? How you know that you have a mentor-mentee relationship is that you have a goal that both of you are aware of. That mentor you put down and the why that you put as why that person is your mentor, is the mentor aware of it? So if I'm having issues in my marriage and I want to work on it, maybe I talk a lot and I hurt my husband with my words too much, and I've struggled with it, and I've seen this person that I've watched over time consistently. She has tamed her tongue and has just so honored her husband, and I'm admiring that. And I go and I tell the person, I need your help. I want you to work with me. I will you be available? Will you be able to help me? I have this challenge and it's beginning to tear my home apart. I need your help. And then the person knows that this is the area of growth, this is the area of need, this is what you want to work on, they're aware of it. And then the person can go ahead and sit with you and make plans on how you guys can, both of you can then talk about how you can tame your tongue, and the person can check on you from time to time, give you assignment, give you task, give you maybe a book to read, and then you have review session to ask how you're doing, to monitor. You could probably decide on how long you want this relationship to end, to be. I want to do this, and before his next birthday, and which is in the next 4 months, I want to have transformed the way I relate with my husband, and the person knows, okay, this is how. So that it could be that structure, but most importantly, be it formal or informal, if the goal is known to only you, that person is not your coach. You can't just be going around somebody, smiling with the person, greeting the person, how are you doing? Well done. And you sit with the person, and the person asks you, how is everyone? How is everything? How's your mommy? How's your daddy? I hope you're well. How's your academics? Fine, thank you. And say, okay, see you next week, ma. Thank you so much for your time. And then you go and say, that person is your mentor. That person is not your mentor. Okay, that's just somebody you admire and you spend time with. That whoever is your mentor needs to know what role you want that person. So in establishing effective mentorship goals, you need to um let me let me take this up a bit. Establishing the goal, it's crucial that you maximize that, because goals is what will make the relationship to really really be effective. The mentorship relationship, your goals is what exactly would make that relationship an effective one. So there should be a clearly defined goal that you hope to achieve. Okay, it could be that you want to develop a particular skill. Okay, it could be that you want to expand your network, or it could be that you need guidance and support in a personal or issue, or something to do with your professional life, and you need this person's help. So being able to set measurable and actionable goal, mentorship that doesn't give you assignment, doesn't give you target. Let me not use the word target. Doesn't give you actions to take, action points, actionable goals. Okay, um, you said you want to learn how to do to use PowerPoint, right? So go watch this video, watch it, and by the time we meet next, let me know what you know about PowerPoint, what you've learned about PowerPoint. Do any other research you need. By the time we meet, I will guide you, and I'm just giving an example. There has to be actionable goals and tasks, and reflection. You can't play with reflection in the place of establishing mentorship. You need to. I'm working with a mentee presently, and we have a fixed day. Every Sunday we're meeting, and I've told her, when we meet, these are the things we'll do. Of course, I'm learning from the process as well, because when we meet, we'll be reviewing our processes even as we relate. Okay, so having a goal also keeps you motivated throughout the mentorship relationship. That's why it is very, very important. So, and it's also important that both the mentor and the mentee understand their responsibilities. If you don't understand your responsibilities, you can't contribute well to the relationship. So to have a very successful mentorship, both the mentor and the mentee, they need to have specific responsibilities. Like I said, there are specific responsibilities I've given to my mentee that she has to do before we meet. And I didn't just give her hers. I'm also accountable to her as a mentor. So I've also told her what we've both agreed on, what she should be doing and what I should be doing to be able to achieve the goal that we are working towards, right? So the mentor's responsibility basically is to guide, to support, to make resources available, and then make all the connections available, while the mentee is the one who is receiving and actively doing the work. So you don't do the work. Okay, just like in labor, someone once gave this example. Who does the work of giving birth? The pregnant woman. She does the work. She does all the pushing and all the everything. The doctors just guide the baby out. So everything is really dependent on the woman in labor, right? So the mentee is the one that should be. So you can't say um, this is how to do it. We are doing the PowerPoint and come and watch. And then you are the one doing the typing. You're the one adding the slides. You're the one putting the heading. You're the one saying, can you see? Are you understanding it? Yes, yes, yes. Oh, this thing is really nice. So the mentee has to be actively engaged. Let trust them to make mistakes, to learn from it, to pick themselves up again, and to continue. So, and then regular communication, mutual respect. You need to respect your mentee, even if you are the experienced person, and vice versa. And then accountability. You are accountable to your mentee as much as they are accountable to you. So you can't hold back information that would help them. You know, if you have experiences, mistakes you've learned from, you can't hold that back, because that is why they've come to you. And you can't, if you won't be available for a session, you're accountable to them. You don't just not show up. You need to talk. So accountability, all these things are just of course, I'm going to share this with you. Not everything that I've said is in here, but I'm sure once you're going over them, you should be able to remember. So what are the challenges? Everybody is busy. I'm supposed to be on an excursion now. I've been seeing their calls coming in. I'm checking my time. We're all busy. There's just a lot going on. And if we don't go into any mentorship relationship with that understanding that it's going to demand of your time, the time that you probably don't have enough. You have, but it's just being able to plan, segment, and easier said than done, right? So we're all busy people. There's just a lot demanding for our attention, but it's important you understand that challenge. It's a very, very major challenge. A lot of people have started mentorship relationship with their mentees, and along the way, it's just gone just because you didn't envisage the fact that it will demand of your time. You didn't plan for it. You were not conscious of it. And then once it gets to that point, you just feel like, oh, I didn't know that this is going to take so much of our time. We had that experience with someone we're supposed to work with, who had signed on to do a particular task. And along the way, he said, oh, I had no idea that my time was not going to let me be as active as I should. And I'm really sorry that I'm no longer available. So it's important you both understand that time, because once you understand that at the beginning, you plan properly on what to do about the time that you do not have much of, so that you can plan well and maximize it. Okay, background differences. People are different, their experiences are different. What would be a very good example to you won't always be a good example. So it's important that you are culturally sensitive, that you're socially aware of yourself and of your mentee, that you are emotionally intelligent enough to be sensitive to what you are doing and what they are responding, how they are responding, so that you're able to adjust where there is need. So we have different backgrounds, biases as well. That's also a challenge. If you don't work on bias, because that boy has come with his pants sagging, don't be biased. Don't be quick to judge. Because that girl looks in a certain way or looks a certain way, don't let your biases get into the way of mentorship. Get to understand the person you're working with for them, for who they are, not for what they look like or what their experience is. It's really important. So I want you to write down other challenges apart from time, um, diverse experience and background, cultural differences, and apart from what was the other one I talked about now? Um, Bias. What are the other things can that can be challenging? But of course, if you see it says overcoming challenges in a mentorship relationship, it shows that all these challenges that we're listing now are challenges that can be overcome with proper planning. Okay. Then, so remember that your role as a mentor, either a mentor to you or you to a mentee, is really, really crucial. Is crucial. Providing guidance, providing support and expertise is not a joke. It is really, really crucial. So please don't take it lightly. Don't take it. Don't be casual about it. It is very, very, very important. So mentors help individuals overcome challenges and develop new skills and unlock their potential. So if it is dependent on you for this child to succeed, please don't be the reason why that child will fail, because your guidance is really, really important in helping them navigate their career transitions, gain valuable insight, and make informed decisions. So please, you need to really take this carefully and very seriously. So finally, I hope I can catch up with the team. Um, I really would, I really would have loved to be here. Thank you so much for having me. So in conclusion, mentorship serves as a catalyst. If you're not a science student or you've not heard the word catalyst, just remember your potash or your kanwa, that you put in your beans or in your okra. In the okra, it makes it so green, so beautiful. It gives it color. In your beans, it makes it get soft quickly and cook quickly. So as a catalyst, you unlock that individual's potential. You bring out the color in that person and you help them achieve things more easily and quickly. So please embrace this role as a support, as a mentor, as a guide, and help everyone that you've decided to work with, or God has brought your way to work with, or your environment has brought your way to work with, or your profession has brought your way to work with. Take on the challenges that would come with it and find ways to overcome it and support these children. Mentorship is such a powerful tool, both for the mentor and the mentee. It empowers both of you because you're growing each time you help others to grow. Okay, and each time you help people achieve success in their chosen path, you're actually helping yourself as well. So, thank you very much for listening. I am so, so grateful. Again, Mrs. Benita. Miss Benita, thank you so much for this privilege and this honor. Um, I know that I'm not here to take questions, but if you have questions, I know I've been added to a group. Please put your questions there, and I would be happy to answer them when I have the chance to. So I wish you all a wonderful time, and thank you.